Ah!
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Oh, I wasn't even eyeing that.
Today to our Twitch crew talk episode.
Make sure my points are on point again.
My name is Musashell. Below me is Mr. Harry Wizard Gaming.
And I'm Rambo.
And literally, I am Rambo.
Thanks for the points.
Wait, I didn't know. The one next to me. Anyway, today we'll be talking about some gaming stuff in the gaming world, news, all that fun stuff. Extensions and mics, not necessarily in that order. And we're going to start with Harry talking about some gaming stuff that he's found.
Woohoo! So, where to begin? The most recent interesting thing that I found was Bungie leaving Activision and going independent. I think that's crazy. It's a big deal, especially because Destiny has recently gotten a ton of like a re-up almost. Destiny 2 got fixed, so everybody jumped on board with that. Destiny 1 is still being played often by a lot of people, which is crazy. So if Bungie is no longer with Activision, that means Activision no longer has rights to that Destiny franchise, and Destiny 3 could go anywhere now.
This is very true.
What do you got there? What do you got there, Rambo? You got some sound clip you're playing?
Just checking audio.
The craziest thing I thought about that, though, was mainly I think they're just going to be independent for a while, so I don't think it's going to be a big, crazy thing. However, if Sony buys them, which was the rumor like a week ago, I highly doubt it will happen. Sony could just take Destiny, and then Destiny could then be a PlayStation exclusive, which would be the funniest thing to ever exist.
That would suck.
I don't even think it would suck. I think it'd be hilarious.
It would be. Go ahead.
No, because I think if they were to do that, they would take a lot of people away because there's a lot of people that don't.
Tons.
Console, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be smart.
Well,
they would lose money doing it, and that's why I find it so funny. If they made it platform exclusive, they would lose out on money.
They would indeed.
So funny.
It's also how it's like most of their stuff has been exclusive to something when they were with Microsoft, and then Bungie comes with Activision, and it's like, oh, it's everyone. So if it should be like, oh, now we're with Sony, that's a complete like backslap to Microsoft, who was like their original.
Right. Oh, it'd be so funny to me.
But I think this shows a lot of potential for what could happen in the next Destiny.
Yes.
You know, they're free from what they've been kind of constrained with, and I'll be curious to see what they do for sure. I didn't play Destiny 1. I have been playing Destiny 2. So it is kind of exciting, and knowing people who've been playing through the entire series and like that's their game, you know, that's their thing. They're excited for it. So, you know, if long life people, you know, game lifelong people are excited about it, it must mean something.
Right. I'm actually a sad story. I played both Destinies to max level when both games were broken. So when everybody was complaining about Destiny 1 not being good, I played it to max level, hated the game, and didn't pick it back up. Same thing happened to me with Destiny 2. But yeah, I've always loved Bungie. I was a big Halo was a huge game for me when it came out. Halo 2, Halo 3. So then Bungie left, and I was like, well, that sucks. And then they started doing Destiny. So I would love to see what Bungie does next, for sure.
I never played. I never played the Destiny 1. I played Destiny 2 because it was gifted to me. But I enjoyed Destiny 2 surprisingly, but I didn't buy Destiny 1 just because I was on the whole like bandwagon with the majority of people were like, ew, how dare you make this game when you just made Halo? And it was like, in so relations to Halo, like it was totally, there's the Flood, the Hive, the Covenant, the Legion, like it was just like, ugh. So
I mean, speaking of, our resident community player of Destiny, Baggy, is raiding us with a party of 7. Baggy, Noodle Arms.
Thank you very much for the raid, Noodly Arms.
Arms that are
I also
noodles.
have Noodly Arms.
Arms that are noodled.
So yeah, that was a thing. And then Anthem's coming out, which I don't know how you guys feel. I love BioWare as a studio. I hate EA as a publisher. I'm really scared that EA is just going to jack everything up, and it's the scariest thing.
Shini, thank you so much for the
Thank
5
you for the
months.
sub.
Free sub. We love you.
Much
You're
love,
awesome.
Shini.
I'm excited for it just because I'm curious about it. I don't have any ties to either, BioWare or EA. It's like I'm not either way for either of them. So I'll be curious to see just how it plays. If it's fun, all I have to go by is what everybody does, and that's a lot of the talk and the the trailers and stuff. And the trailers look promising.
Fun.
It looks pretty. And I like some of the mechanics that maybe they're hinting at with it.
The flying looks like a lot of fun. It looks like you can be Iron Man. I'm all about that.
My issue with that, I never trust trailers that are shown that are presented by EA because like Battlefield,
because they're bullshit.
Exactly. Battlefield 1 was coming out and the trailers were like, damn, this is cool. The trailer for Battlefield 1 destroyed Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Everyone was excited for it, and then there was just complete mass disappointment to a majority of players who were Battlefield fans. And so it's just like, I don't trust EA with their trailers because they can make it beautiful and make it cinematic. And yes, it is BioWare.
And then there won't even be a story. Oh.
So I am skeptical on it. I am the one within this crew talk that is skeptical. I probably will try it.
Super skeptical.
Skeptical?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I'm a receptacle. Glass only.
So I will probably pick it up and try it, but I'm just like I'm on kind of like with it because I just EA throttles the developers so hard, and when developers want to do what they want to do, EA is like, nah, do this and whatnot. Right. Example: Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, yeah. So that's a big thing. I want to segue off that. That was actually perfect. However, I wanted to say on the Anthem part, I'm also just excited for another game to play with friends. I haven't had a game like that in a while. Like I said, I played Destiny and Destiny 2 and Bad Times. The last game I played and actually really enjoyed just playing with friends, not competitively, was Borderlands 2. So if I get any of that feeling with friends that Borderlands 2 gave me, I'll be happy with it. But yeah, EA's trash. Speaking of EA being trash, another Star Wars game cancellation. Insane. Doesn't make any sense. They're getting destroyed. Like he just said, the Battlefront 2 fiasco, insane. Disney literally had to call them and be like, look, this isn't our public image, you need to fix this, and they fixed it immediately. Battlefront 1, no story at all. Those games were a huge letdown. Now they're canceling one, and they're at their 5-year point out of their 10-year contract. So I feel like Disney has to pull the plug if they have a way to pull the plug.
Well, what's interesting is before Battlefront 2 was even going and like released, there was reviews and announcements on, if you guys remember, Visceral Games, the company that made Dead Space and everything. They were in development of making a first-person RPG open world Star Wars, which was supposed to be story-driven. You're in the world and you fly through the solar galaxies and everything. And it was like, everyone was hyped about it. Couple months later, we hear the news, Visceral's been shut down by EA. So God. EA is the company that brings disappointments. Monka Giga, dude.
So the way I see it is, Disney owns Star Wars, right? Disney also owns Marvel. Marvel games are a huge success right now. They are blowing up. They're doing so well.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Star Wars games, which should be doing well, I mean, all geeks and nerds, at least to an extent, like Star Wars. Like, I'm not a big Star Wars person, but at the same time, I still love Star Wars. So for them to just keep ramming this through, and there's no way Disney's is obviously smart in their business moves. I assume that they have a year in review or some kind of review clause halfway into their contract where they can be like, hey, no, we're done with you.
We're done. Here.
We can't do it anymore. And then people are talking about like different studios picking it up, and like if Microsoft got a deal and made anything Microsoft related to it, would just be amazing and stuff like that. I could see some producers, some developers just doing awesome things with Star Wars that aren't EA.
I mean, any publisher, right?
Yeah.
I think
I guess that's fair.
I think if a
Eddie.
company were to bring in up and buy like the contract to do Star Wars games, I think Coalition would be probably
Coalition is one they brought up.
an ideal one, because after the success of them with Gears of War after Epic's Games finished with their test promotion of Gears of War Remastered, and that was such a huge hit because everyone's like, oh my god, the graphics are amazing, the gameplay's more fluid than it was originally, and then Gears of War 4 and now Gears 5 coming out, like they've already created a foundation with themselves and have created like so much love within the Gears community and with Microsoft. I
love Coalition.
I think Coalition would be a great suggestion to go for Star Wars games. I think they could do it well,
especially because they clearly with Gears do such a good job at awesome stories while also still bringing in multiplayer, which will keep a player base going, keep a game alive. So yeah, they would definitely write an awesome Star Wars story in that universe. There's no arguing it, and it would probably look really cool.
I think they might have potential.
Let's see, what else is some stuff I wanted to talk about. Oh, this is a little quick one. I think it's really interesting for any of you JRPG players, Nintendo Switch people. Square Enix released that JRPG Octopath Traveler. It was extremely well received, especially for how beautiful the game looked. They also recently trademarked the terms HD 2D and HD-2D on their European side.
That's amazing.
Which they used to promote Octo, right? Which assumes that they will be making more games along that linear thing. Now, they did not trademark the game type itself, so people can still make games like that.
They could be able to.
No,
just the terms.
A lot of terms in business they wouldn't be able to.
Exactly, just the terms. I thought that was interesting. That's something I ran into today, so I didn't do a lot of research on it. I just thought it was awesome because Octopath is beautiful looking. So if they make some platformers along those lines or something, which Square Enix is not going to make a platformer, I'm just hopeful dreaming.
That'd be really cool though.
That'd be awesome.
Right? Can you imagine just running side-scrolling with Cloud? Oh yeah, I'm all about that.
I might actually play that. I might actually play that.
I'm a genius.
He's just like, I might get into it.
I might just develop games.
I mean, I'm a platform player, so yeah, I could get into that.
The weird theoretical that I was talking about with Destiny 3 being PlayStation exclusive, me and a couple friends at work were talking about, can you imagine just 2022, Destiny 3 release, PS5? Because next gens are coming. And how funny would that be?
You would have so many people throwing out their systems and screaming.
Oh my god. It'd be great.
I like the scene from Parks and Recreations, Ron Burgundy. He grabs his PC and throws it in a dumpster. He's like, screw this.
Done with it. I think Xbox is going to take over the console battle in the next line of consoles.
Well, don't you think that they kind of already have in a lot of ways? Because I feel like we see more. I see way more with Xbox and Xbox stuff than I do with PlayStation.
PlayStation kind of keeps it closer, but PlayStation always dominates on that.
PlayStation dominates. Xbox you see a lot more of, and I think it's because Halo and Gears made everybody buy Xbox 360s, and then all their friends had Xboxes, so everybody bought an Xbox One. Yeah. But PlayStation has killed sales and exclusives and just everything about being a better system. PS4 has won. Xbox 360 was better than PS3, in my opinion.
Ron Swanson, I'm sorry, Baggy. I've never watched Parks and Recs.
Oh, you said Ron Burgundy, didn't you?
I said Ron Burgundy from fucking Anchorman, dude.
I didn't even notice. I love Lamp. So I think that's going to be a bigger thing. I think Xbox is going to pull it off, though, because they have that Game Pass, and that's going to be the future. In my opinion, I think eventually we're going to see, you buy your Xbox Live, it's going to be $10 more or $30 more a year or something. And it's going to be the Xbox Game Pass as well. It's going to have both in it. PlayStation has PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. I think it's going to wrap both into it to a streaming service because that's the future. Streaming, you have a library of I don't even know, all the first party Xbox games and then a bunch of exclusive second parties. It's like 100 games on there.
I actually pay monthly for the Xbox Game Pass and I enjoy it. That's how I'm playing.
Do you love it?
I enjoy it because that's how I'm playing Sea of Thieves. I played State of Decay with Eddie and then for a bit when it came out. And it's really cool because I just checked recently, like what new games I can download, and there's one that I've been wanting to, which actually won for 2017 on the indie games, which is Senua's Blade, which is like a story-driven like horror game. But I've always wanted to play that, and I never had it. But now I can play it for free because I have the Xbox Game Pass. So there's a lot of cool things. Like Mortal Kombat 10 is also free, and PUBG's free on Xbox right now if you have Game Pass.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, and I love the Game Pass because I don't have an Xbox. So with the Game Pass, I can play with people on Xbox. Like I just a couple weeks ago, I was playing
on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on PC.
Oh,
and
that's
so
so
was
cool.
I was playing Sea of Thieves
That's awesome.
with my buddy Northern Bud on his Xbox. So we were able to play and enjoy, have that gaming experience across platform, which I really enjoy. I think that's really
and that's
great.
sweet.
Worth the monthly payment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think Xbox is going to tear it up in the next gen because that program is awesome. But they don't have a ton of exclusives on it.
No.
But once those start chopping out, it's going to be crazy. Because like Sea of Thieves was a big push for everybody to get it, but it's going to be crazy. That one is going to be good. And then Switch, I don't think Nintendo's going to do another. Do you guys think Nintendo's going to do like another portable like DS?
No.
Or has Switch combined
I think the
their
Switch
two?
has combined it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they've gone around having to have the portable and
Right, because they're doing both
console, and
lines.
they just do it all in one. But
Mhm.
then you also like PlayStation. They no longer have, the portable. Xbox doesn't really have, there's not the portable there. So I think
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's the one difference in why someone might want to switch is the portability of that.
Well, it was
And I think that's the only thing that it would have over the other two.
That was like as well when Nintendo first released the Wii. That was the biggest seller within that year. The Wii dominated the field with Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Yeah, which is so weird.
Because it had the sensor and movement and you could actually do things. It was like a prototype of VR in a way because you had the movement of your character and everything, and that excelled. Same with this. The Nintendo Switch is a little bit more powerful than how the PlayStation 3 was, and having it be that you can do it portable and everything, and even dock it, and you get the 60 frames 1080p. But when you undock it, it's 720p. You're doing that playing a AAA game like Smash or so. It's outstanding.
No, that's super awesome. Yeah, sorry, I have like 3 thoughts in my head at once, so I didn't.
Usually, you put the
working.
chat in Discord instead of Twitch.
Put it there on purpose.
Oh, oops.
Harry's all yelling at me, guys.
Oh, I thought you were replying to them. Woo. That was
He's awake, I swear.
barely.
No,
just
but
barely.
I think that's it. So where do you think the consoles are going to go, and which one's going to come out first? Which is going to be the next gen?
PlayStation.
What is everyone excited for?
We're gonna get a first release, like a first sneak peek, if you will, because PlayStation didn't do their they didn't show up at E3, and then correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't do their little Sony thing that they do every year.
I don't follow, so I don't know.
I don't follow very well either, but they have a Sony like con, and I believe they didn't do it.
They didn't do the Sony. They didn't do the Sony con, but they presented there, and that's when everyone stated like, "Oh, Sony's dead." Like,
well,
that's why
everyone was
like,
got it backwards.
That's why everyone was like, "Holy crap!" 2017 was like the year for Xbox, year for PlayStation and everything. We were having God of War and all this stuff came out, and then this E3 that happened for 2018. Everyone's like, crap, Sony didn't do anything, and like Xbox dominated.
So, and I think that's kind of my point. I think it's because they're just, you know what? We're gonna take a step back. This next year, they're gonna announce what's that game called? Last of Us 2.
Oh.
They're gonna announce what are the other 2 games? I brought this up literally 2 weeks ago in the stream, and I can't remember. I think they're going to announce all those games with a release date, and then also in little letters right under it, it's going to say also will be available on PS5. I think it's going to release for both, but they're going to be release titles for PlayStation 5. I think PlayStation 5 is 2021 or 2022. Sorry, 2022, not 2021.
Didn't they do Last of Us Deluxe Edition type of thing from going from 3 to 4?
Probably.
They did the definitive edition.
So that would make sense. Yeah, I knew there was some special title for it. That would make sense that they might do that with The Last of Us 2 with a new console for PlayStation. So that would make sense.
I think that's going to run into it.
here's another question for you guys. Becky was talking about, people buying Wii for Wii Tennis and Mario Kart and those. What game would be the definitive seller of the next console for you over the others?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I like that question a whole bunch.
That's
It would have been different 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I would have said Xbox for Gears. This year, everything's different because guess what's going to come out on the next console for PlayStation? God of War. And so that's it. I'll buy a $1,000 system just to play God of War 2.
Oh god. Don't get me started.
Exactly, like Baggy knows. Wait, am I going the right way?
You just call me Baggy?
I did because of reading Baggy. Rambo knows.
I guess I'm you,
knows.
Baggy.
He's on the struggle bus. It's okay. It's okay. What about you, Rambo? What would get you to buy? What game would get you to buy the next gen?
I don't know. That's kind of tough because I'm not really a big fan of consoles. The only time
you have them all, sir.
I have them, and the only time I will play them is when Baggy is when like there's a specific exclusive on it. Like God of War, like I would have to say, like I wouldn't have played. If I could have played on PC, I would have, but it was for PlayStation. So like I would have kind of be with Harry on, like if God of War 2 was announced for PlayStation 5, I 100% would have. I would buy it. I 100%
bought it
would.
still. Bought it still.
But that's kind of a tough question because there's so many good things coming out, but we don't know what's coming out for the new gen or so.
Right.
I kind of like I could say like, oh my god, a Gear 6, but I don't know how Gears 5 is gonna be for this current gen. So it's like
it's gonna be amazing.
It's kind of a tough question to ask, I think, at this moment because there aren't that much announced for the new gens.
This whole conversation is obviously theoretical because none of them have been
I just
announced
can't
yet. So
I just can't.
Well, that's
I
kind
just
of my
can't
point.
think of it.
That's kind of my point, though. The only thing not hypothetical I would say is God of War 2. They're gonna make another one, and it's going to be on the PlayStation 5 because it's not going to come out in the next 2 years.
Next Nintendo game, a new Smash. That's gonna happen.
What about the VR side of things, guys? What are your thoughts on that? How is that going to go with the next gen stuff?
No, Matt, I beat that.
You beat that?
Because you play VR, Rambo. So I think you'll see another Oculus, a new gen of the Oculus.
So this actually, I actually brought this up with someone recently on developments of consoles. I don't know if you like a lot of people keep on the tech stuff on that stuff, but there's already development of like prototypes of like 360-degree like type treadmills to allow you to run in place. So you have the VR headset, you have the gloves, and you can run around to allow like full movement. There's already prototypes, and if you think of that, what science fiction story did that? Ready Player One.
Yes, my favorite book of all time.
Ready Player One did that, which that book came out, I believe, 2011. And it told you had a suit, you had gloves, and it was full movement. You put a mask on like an Oculus, and you were on a 360-degree directional treadmill to allow you to run in place. So you were strapped on. You could feel like people touching you and everything and allow it. There's already prototypes of all those types of things. There's already the ones where people are strapped on, the treadmills are going. There's already people allowing where you put attachments on your feet or arms to allow you to do full body movements. So I'm excited for that on VR.
So Rogue Dorito just brought up about WWE VR streaming their live shows. Actually, even when just the Samsung 7, it came with a little Oculus thing when I got it, or not 7. I don't know. I can't remember which Samsung was, but they were doing sideline football games and sideline NBA games and things like that. It's crazy that WWE is jumping on board with that too. But
it's really cool.
I think VR is gonna fall really hard off the console side of things, though. I think it's gonna become more gimmick. I don't think it's gonna be their main seller. I don't think VR is going to be. It's the biggest on PlayStation right now, and I don't think it's going to get bigger next year. Is what I should say.
Well, that's for
Well, if you think about
PlayStation, but
connected
we're
with the
also
console,
PC.
PlayStation is the only one.
PC exactly. PC will for sure be getting up and up and up and up. I think for VR.
This is the thing because like with VR, it's just at its baby stages. It's only been out for what 3 years or so, development of it. Like
Super
Probably.
most starting out on things, it takes at least like a few years for something like that to even grasp or get hold in its great stage. So we're still at like its adept stage, this primitive like stage of its learning. Right now are the tests to see what it can do, what we can do to get it better. I bet you a couple years from now we're gonna be having better things.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. It was a while ago, but didn't Facebook own Oculus? Do they still own Oculus?
No.
Facebook owned, I believe, Oculus at some point. They owned VR of some sort.
Oculus has its own company.
I'll Google it right
coding
now.
on it.
I'll go with that right now. More importantly, though, and the biggest gaming news of all time, even if you aren't a fan, I force you to be a fan. Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally coming out in just a week.
Refuse.
Oh. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. So that game, I'm actually not as hyped for that game as I thought I would be.
Oh, and why is that?
I think because I've been waiting for it for 13 years. I think my hype has been dispersed because they rumored it coming like 10 years ago. And then they rumored it coming again like 5 years ago. And then they rumored it coming again like 3 years ago. So I've been hyped.
I legit said that last stream was like, I'm excited to play it, but the hype for me is like
Right.
It's gone
like,
because
I'm still so happy.
They announced it, they showed development, there was so much talk, and they were like, it's coming out next year, it's coming out this year, and it was like, wait, we're delaying it even more. Which I'm fine a company delaying it to make sure that it's properly made and to be the best, but I'm like,
that's a long time to wait.
It is a long time. It's like The Incredibles
Doritos.
2.
Yeah,
Right.
2014, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg did buy Oculus VR. And they still have it, partnered company. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No
But
wonder I
No,
don't
you're
like
good.
my
I was
Oculus.
gonna say Dorito was saying that he doesn't know anything about it, but the demo that he and Slot played was hella fun.
Oh,
So-
For Kingdom Hearts?
I
For the
guess.
Kingdom Hearts demo? Hold the phone. Wait a second. I might
I don't
need to
know.
leave
I don't
Crew
know.
Talk to go.
He has probably lost Harry for the duration.
Her was like,
Well,
what?
that's coming out. In addition, there's the Anthem. I'm forgetting the name.
The beta?
The term. Well, they're calling it something else though.
Yeah, but it's the beta.
But anyway, there's going to be the demo. We'll just call it the demo. The Anthem demo's coming out, playable Friday.
Oh, was
Yes,
that a con?
Friday.
That's why.
There you go. So the Anthem is coming out, and then there's also coming up soon, in like 2 weeks. The Division 2's private beta is coming out. So there's a lot of stuff coming up to help build up hype for the games that are coming out later in the year.
Also have Resident Evil 2 releasing this Friday, so those who are
Mhm.
excited.
Which did their demo.
With
The
their
week before.
super cool demo. Coolest demo ever.
I got nothing nice to say, so I'm.
Hey,
I kid.
just so chat knows, one of these days these two are gonna be black and blue because they have these great conversations before we start, and then we get to the topic and it's just dead.
No,
I tried to make him bring it up right there. I gave him the lead in.
Okay,
and he
okay,
didn't take it because
okay.
He's got nothing nice to
Okay, we're going. I hated the demo. I hated it. There.
say. There, that's it. He just liked it. I
I-
thought it was an awesome way to do a demo a week before a game. I think it's an interesting promotional hype thing. Like, here's the demo. You got 30 minutes and you can't play it again.
Do it
That's
a couple. Do it
That's
a
all
couple.
you got.
Do it a couple weeks. I think about Capcom is they've never been on point or good about their promotional things. Their marketing and everything has never been good. Like they announced Street Fighter and certain things played in, and then it comes out. It's like, oh, this game isn't even what they were. Like they kind of like gloat it more than ever. More detail, Ramboop. Okay. So I didn't like the demo just because you had one time playing it and it was 30 minutes. I'm perfectly fine with them having a 30-minute timer and to see how people can do. What I didn't like is just the one time because it was like, okay, if you're able to defeat it in 30 minutes or less, you can then replay it again, which is like, all right, that gives me a little bit of accomplishment. Like, I did good. I can get a retry on it. But my issue was, and this was just because I got a bad taste in it on my end, I wanted to stream the demo. And so 20 minutes before I went live, I'm like, let me load up the game to benchmark it to make sure everything's good. Okay, settings are all good. Let me load it up real quick to go test it. Tested probably 5-8 minutes of it. Exit out back to the main menu and then quit out of it and then started stream, loaded up, and it said I couldn't play it. It said, thanks for playing, that my 30 minutes were already up. Now, I hyped me doing the demo on Twitter and everything, and I'm like, well, I can't even play it fully.
Right.
And what I also don't like is that on their Steam and certain things with the reviews and on anything, they were like, this is a promotional, yes. It is a demo, yes. Well, what makes a demo? A demo gives you a short taste, yes, but it allows you to replay it. So you can keep getting that, to keep getting that hype, to keep getting that excitement, like, oh my God, this was cool, let me go do with this. What I don't like is just that it was one try. And on their forums and everything, they were saying how we want people to play it to give us feedback. What you think? What do you think of this? What do you think of that on it? How, to me, as a gamer and streamer, you can't give a full feedback of the mechanics, the physics, the engine, the atmosphere, the thing and it brings. You could be like, the graphics were beautiful, but you can't go in an in-depth feedback towards a 30-minute demo. Most streamers and everything who are trying out a new game play it for at least 4 hours before they go, this game was cool. This is what I think about it. These are some good things about it. These are not some good things about it.
But the difference too, though, is that though, like a lot of demos, you get chapter 1. That's it. Like you only get so much, a specific chunk of the game. That's
they make it very linear. Which...
But this, they actually basically gave you access to the entire game. But instead of limiting it by the chapter or whatever, however you want to look at it, the act, they gave you access to the whole game, but only 30 minutes.
That I thought was creative. That what I thought was creative on it. I just think that if you had 30 minutes, allow you to at least replay it. I just think that would have been better because most demos you can replay a demo or so. Like the demo for when Dead Space was coming out, I replayed that so many times. Yes, I know what the ending and outcome was, but I played it because I loved how the game felt. It allows you to feel it, feel how the game can work, and allows you to at least get used to it to see what you can expect.
Free, since it's a free demo, and
most demos are free.
For them to do it, what? Right. Most demos are free. So if they decided not to do it linear, which they decided not to do, if they gave you more replays of that, you can then do way more of the game than they intended for you to experience.
Well, I watched.
That's their like caveat. If you can replay that 30 minutes over and over, you get to do more than they possibly intended.
Well, absolutely.
I know what you mean, a standard demo. My roommate's played the Devil May Cry 5 demo behind me probably like 50 times. He's got an SS rank on it at least twice, so he's not been touched.
No.
So he's done the same thing over and over and over. But if you do the, I haven't played the Resident Evil 2 demo, but my understanding is that it's a full game, but you only get 30 minutes.
The game has an ending towards it, and it is in the full game. You're starting at the first area when Leon gets into the police station, which, if you've ever played the first Resident Evil 2, that is accurate on it. But it does end at a point of where you meet a certain character and go into it, but they're not giving you the full game.
So would you have just wanted them to do a just standard demo?
I would allow. I loved how they allowed you to do it. I just wish if they were just like, this is 30 minutes or even shorten the time, but allow you to have replayability, because they're wanting promotion and to grow to get the word out, because there's only probably a small percentage of gamers who are like, Resident Evil 2, dude, let's get it. If we're being realistic.
Now, here's my thought though, my question. this is a game that a lot of people have already played. It's a remastered
Yes.
Also
versus
true.
a brand new game. Far Cry 5, that's a whole new game, new story.
A whole new game.
Do you think that that's part of why they did it differently? Is because people already know the story, they know the characters, they know the basic gameplay, the basic mechanics.
If that were the reason, I would agree with Ram.
Yeah,
If that were the reason, I would agree with Ram, because then you have to look at all the small things that they've remastered and changed. Then you wouldn't want more time.
So
and more
I never played Resident Evil 2. I've played Resident Evil 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and even the Raccoon City and other, but I have not played 2
Who
and 3.
plays 0 and not 2? What in the...
It's Rambo.
Because I don't have the copies. I don't have the copies, nor do I
that's
like
fair, yeah.
doing. I don't like doing emulators.
I will say, I think I just fell in love with the whole one-shot demo idea. The more talking about it, I think it wasn't the best idea because, like Muse just brought up, since it's a remaster, I feel like there aren't new mechanics. If it was a 30-minute one-shot for a brand new game, can you imagine you play it, right? You play it by yourself, whatever, and then the next day you go to work and you talk to somebody about it that also games, and like, whoa, you never used the grappling hook? I found a grappling hook.
Yeah.
And that would be so much fun. That would be so cool. But Resident Evil 2 is an old game.
So
you're not finding all these new mechanics over the 30 minutes.
But there was something one of the devs actually stated on how, yes, the story and everything is the same, but they have changed so much of how you go through that story to make it that you're not just playing a remastered, it's also you're playing a new style of a game. Because they're using the viewpoint and everything of Resident Evil 4, they're using the engine of Resident Evil 7, and most people that are going to play this Resident Evil 2 probably are ones who, yes, have played the first one, but
I think that's actually inaccurate.
Resident Evil, let's be honest, Resident Evil has gone in their growth and reputation and respect from Resident Evil 1, yes, but the recent ones. Resident Evil 7 was their biggest one and got the most audience in. Was the way
I think
that
Resident
they
Evil
would.
2 is going to be a lot of people's first game.
It's going to be a lot of people's
Evil.
first game. So I think that allowing a new player to do a replay of a demo to at least get used to
That's
it
fair.
if they've never played it, I think that's good because that allows promotion, like a good promotion on that because they're going through and they're like, okay, so this is how you do it. Oh, okay. This is it.
They get stuck on it,
And then they get stuck on it, and then they learn. At least they can be it and be like, I can't wait for this game to come out now. That's why I have an issue with the demo.
Shinny pointed out a good thing. If you're limited on what you get to play, you might get bored with it.
Yeah.
And that makes it limited.
So
I guess it depends on your definition of limits because, as we were saying, every demo has its own limits, right? So
there's always an ending.
Otherwise, it's the game.
exactly.
Speaking of, I saw this morning, speaking of Resident Evil, I really want to bring this up. I'm very excited for it. I don't know much about it. I don't think they've released a lot of info on it. They actually announced that Resident Evil 2 Remastered is going to be having DLC.
Yes.
Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
I had not seen it.
Yes, it is DLC. And the coolest thing is, I was like, oh my God, you can't DLC a story that's already done. But what they're actually doing is mini missions, from my understanding, that are going to have some kind of randomizer almost to them for some of them.
So,
which is awesome. I don't know if you've ever seen Eris. He's an awesome streamer, Avoiding the Puddle. He plays a bunch of Resident Evil modded things where I'm sure they won't do it to this extreme, but if you walk into a room, for instance, the final boss is just there.
Yeah.
Or you could find the final key in the third room in.
That's a randomizer
Stuff like that.
for you.
Right. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something similar to that.
I
actually
think I know what the DLC is, and it actually is correlation to Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City.
Okay.
Which had to do with a character who was part of the Operation Raccoon City of the Umbrella Group, which was Hank. And he was a special military operative for them.
Yes,
and
I remember Hank.
And he was the one with the mask and the helmet, and he was the fully geared one in the game. But at the end of the demo, when it says "Thanks for playing," we saw a trailer, and after it showed like, "Oh, this is what's going to be for Resident Evil 2," they showed, and it was Hank standing in the sewers calling Umbrella, and they were like, "I thought you were dead," and he goes, "Nah."
Nah, son.
But the only time Hank has shown was Operation Raccoon City. So I think if they're doing DLC, it's going to probably be correlation to him.
I would bet that that's going to be one of them. What I did see is that there's going to be 3 different chapters, if you will, as
Yeah.
far as the DLC. And I know for a fact one of them has to do with Cynthia, the mayor's daughter.
Yes.
I know that for a fact. So
Pretty cool.
I don't know. I think it's interesting that they're gonna take this game that everybody's been so excited for and then make it even more playability. However they do it, kudos to them. And it's not EA, so it won't cost $80.
Well,
The addition, because it is a remaster, the fact that they are adding more content to something that, so I guess
it
that's
develops
to
more
help
of
draw in.
a story.
Well, and helps draw in people who've already played to maybe want to play it again because
Mhm.
there's more content, more stuff to check out, more of the story with Umbrella Corp and all of that. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
boy.
wanted to know, Baggy. There's the details on why I think
There's
it was a
your
poor demo. I'm still gonna buy the game and I'm still gonna play the hell out of it and probably enjoy it a lot
It's
and
just
get
salty.
like spooked. I just got a bad taste from the demo and think that if you're doing a demo, do a demo right. You're wanting promotion. You're wanting to get as much word of mouth out and people to be hyped on it. Do a demo right. That's all I can
All
say.
right.
cool.
Well, I think that's about it for gaming
That's-
news.
That works for me.
We switched.
Maybe. Things that I could think of at least.
Talk via things about mics, which I love. This happened last time too. For whatever reason, maybe it's because it gets mentioned in the announcements. I don't know, but capture cards were talked about last time, the same day that we were going to talk about it on Crew Talk, and today people were talking about mics in Gen Chat. So let's talk about mics. Rembo's got a list of different types of mics, some qualities of them, price points, and all that good stuff.
So I didn't get a lot. I got ones that are pretty much from 2018. A lot of ones that most streamers are using, and the variations of like small streamers to big streamers. There was one model I tried to look for and I couldn't find a lot of info on it. And that was just an XLR. The mics that I talk about, I mostly looked for USB because I know a lot of people and a lot of you guys do not have an audio mixer or an
USB.
audio device that
USB.
uses XLR cables. So you probably have one and it just uses USB. So I'm just going to start out with the XLR models, starting with the Audio-Technica AT2020, which I actually use and speak regularly with this beauty. It is a cardioid condenser mic, so it pretty much narrows your threshold with speaking to allow more precise quality. It is $99 or taxes. It's $100 USD. So it is a little bit on the pricier side, not as bad as the next one we're going to talk about, but the Audio-Technica is priced over performance, standard in side address condenser technology. It is ideal for like projects, home studio applications. The noise level for it is positive 20 dB, which is higher on the noise threshold. So it does allow it to pick up a lot, but it allows for clear audio. It has like high SPL handling and a wide dynamic range to provide unmatched versatility. So the way it's designed, and I actually can show somewhat on stream, is that if I speak through the top of it or the back of it, it will not hear me as clear as it is in front of me. So it allows you to just keep it focused, keep it on that, so there's not much of background noises. If you have people, other neighbors or roommates, it's really good on that. This is like most of the stuff I looked up and just typed, but it is a custom engineered low mass diaphragm, provides extended frequency responses and superior transient response, clear and buoyant. It's pattern on how it is with the coils, and how it's weaved through. I'm trying to like find words on that. It reduces, like I said earlier, the sides from the side and rear, providing isolation desired sound source. So that's the Audio-Technica AT2020 model. There is the AT2022, which is about $120 or so, I believe. It's just going to give a higher dB and better quality. But this, if you guys hear in most of my streams, it's not half bad. The next one is the mother of it all, pricey, and actually one that I think Duke Lyman and most streamers use, which is the Shure SM7B microphone. If most of you have seen it or have gone to like Duke stream, it's pretty simple. It's just got a gray base to it, and it has the foam over casing. It's very narrow. It's flat, wide frequency range, so it actually will speak around, unlike the cardioid mic for the Audio Technica. It has a really nice bass to it, so when you hear people and whatnot, it's just it sounds sexy. And mid-range emphasis controls. With the cover on it, it is optimized for shielding against like broadband interferences, so like different frequencies, like your computer. If it's you don't got a good cooling system for your computer, and I don't know why you don't, and the fans start picking up, it will not interfere. It's got internal air suspensions and shock isolation, so like when you have flicks or bump your mic for a second or hit a bang, it doesn't create that pop. You know how most mics, you hear a pop when someone speaks? That actually, the shock absorb isolation allows that, so there's no pop to it. So there's no.
That's pretty interesting. I actually got a question about this mic. So, as you're saying, it's wide range. I don't know exactly what that means as far as frequency response, but in my mind, what I think of is that a mic you shouldn't exactly have if you share space with somebody? Like my Yeti doesn't pick up, because you can do a bunch of omnidirectional stuff, and I know you're going to talk about the Yeti in a little bit, but my Yeti doesn't pick up a lot of the stuff I don't want it to. So as you can see, I have my roommate's setup is right there. My other roommate's is behind me. I don't get a lot of their other sounds if I have it turned to where I don't. Meanwhile, I feel like a mic like that, it's going to pick up both of them.
It probably can. That's also when you're wanting to do this setting. So you want like a compressor or so to narrow it. But like the wide sound allows for the threshold to be greater. So you're like speaking and everything, and it's not like picking up higher. It's not going over.
Okay.
So instead of how the cardioid is, where I have to have it at a certain angle for it to hear me clearly, the wide range frequency allows you to have it at any angle and it can still hear you clear.
Okay. All right.
So rugged construction, it's honestly, in a cartridge protection, it's honestly a really good mic. If you guys look it up, it's the Shure SM7B. You can also see it on Duke Lyman's stream. He has that mic really close to him all the time. He's also an amazing streamer, so you guys should check him out. So that's
pretty cool.
That's
guy.
the XLR. It was one I was trying to look for, but I couldn't find it for the love of me, and I don't know why. See, Tylo knows what's going on. Tylo.
Fail.
So that's the Shure SM7B. So that's it for XLR mics. And now coming up are USB mics, and starting out, we're going to start out with the one Harry is eating right now, called the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti, Blue products are really, really good if you're starting out. Musi uses the Blue Snowball, which is a lesser price. I'll get to that as well. But if you're starting out, it's a really good mic. Same with the Blue Yeti. I used the Blue Yeti for a year and a half before I switched to the Audio Technica model. But the Blue Yeti, it's a tri-capsule array. 3 condenser capsules can record almost any situation. So you can go from podcast to you're speaking on a narrow threshold. It allows you to have versatility on switches. I believe Harry's showing us right now.
We're on a field trip for Harry.
So if you guys can see on the stream, the 4 notches that he has, it allows there to be where the mic can switch its focus and its threshold width. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good for podcasts, I've heard. You can have one and everyone can be heard around the room. multiple pattern selection, cardioid, bidirectional, omnidirectional, and stereo. Those are the switches that you can do with it. It has a gain control. It's got a mute button, so you can pop it and go. As you hear the clicking. And it has zero latency headphone output. So it actually has a 3.5 millimeter jack that you can put in. So if you have headphones that aren't USB, you're like me, you use earbuds. It's pretty good because it connects all into the computer, so you can have it all in one area. So 118 USD, you can get it. Sometimes 125, depending on Amazon, how they're feeling every now and days. But it's a good mic if you're starting out. And if you don't have an audio mixer for XLR, it's all USB. So you just plug and go.
It was like the first mic that actually got me interested in mics doing cool things. The condenser capsule, tri-capsule crazy thing.
Yeah.
When I was messing with that and how it literally will cut off its 3 sides where it just hears this. And you switch it and it'll take one side in the back, so you can have a one-on-one conversation, like he was talking about, a podcast with people around the table. It's a crazy thing.
The only issue that I have with Blue models is that they don't have this shock isolation. So if you hit it and whatnot, it's loud.
Yeah. I actually bought this arm and I have the shock little thing on it, and honestly, it still has problems picking up stuff.
Yeah, and that's just because of how the mic's like DP is and everything. So next, actually, not a lot of people probably know this. You probably have heard the company before, Rode. Rode is a really good company for microphones for cameras, DSLR cameras or so. I actually really like them. I actually have for my microphone one of their stands. I really like Rode models, so I wanted to find something that that was out of the norm. That you would see for streaming, and I actually did, which was a Rode NT USB Versatile, and it's a cardioid condenser mic. $169. It is a high quality studio mic, so really good for recording and songs and whatnot. With the convenience of the USB connectivity, it is ultra low noise, so it doesn't really pick up a lot. So if you're wanting to be really close, you want to do those ASMR streams, bud, you can go right ahead and have that up. And this is what's interesting too. It is compatible with Apple iPods and iPads.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You could do.
I'd imagine not iPods.
If you're doing PUBG Mobile and you're trying to communicate with your friend, you can connect that in and speak and sound clear.
That would be so weird.
The actual application for that would be for some of the music production stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
More than PUBG Mobile.
I'm just loving
gamers here.
Rambo thinks people are like propping up their iPad and setting up their mic to play some.
I mean, have you seen a Fortnite mobile player? Some of those guys are insane.
Yeah, it's stupid. Fortnite's a stupid thing. Fortnite doesn't make any sense. I meant to bring that up in gaming news, but we'll do that another time.
To answer Tyler, Rode makes insanely good products. They've always been the go-to products for vloggers, camera crew. Rode's really good on that with DSLR cameras and whatnot, so it's good. It's good. And this one, if you find it on Amazon or with the site, it actually is. They include a tripod stand and the pop shield and a ring mount, so you can easily connect it to your mic stand and just have it all ready to go. So that's why it's $169, is because it's also including those other products to it as well. So it's pretty good. And I was surprised that I found it, and I heard really good reviews on it. So something out of the blue that you might not see. Rode does do a lot of mic quality stuff, but not in the sense of streaming. So it was nice to see them actually have a product that was good on that. Next is Musi's mic, the Blue Snowball. It is a condenser microphone cardioid. Not a lot of people know that it is a cardioid. It is a custom condenser capsule. It offers crystal clear audio for Skype, messages, FaceTime, Streamlabs, other such things. When you hear Musi speak,
I think he wants you to speak.
No, I was being quiet.
She comes in
I'm
pretty
being
clear.
sassy.
She's a
Most of the
sassy
time.
woman. There's lack of issue. So they're good for recording vocals, creating podcasts, and add narrations to your home movies if you're doing that type of thing. I know New York Gamer
Ooh.
also has that. I don't know who else has a Blue Snowball. They're $50 or so. They're relatively cheap if you're starting out and need something that's good quality, and right then and there, it's USB. So you could just grab that and use that for the meantime until you want to upgrade to a newer thing.
That's that sweet spot price where don't go buy $20 crap mic. Just
no,
do another $30 and grab a snowball.
Blue products are really good. So $50 for something that has a really good quality. The only
Good starter.
The good starter. The only downfall of Blue Snowballs is they pick up a lot of noise. Their frequency and everything pick up so much noise. So that's the only issue, is even with a pop filter that you have, it picks up a loud noise if you bang it. Distance is not really good on keeping a threshold in noise.
Yeah, if anyone's ever heard me on either playing games with you guys or one of my rare streams, or even like on Crew Talk, you will hear my dogs bark clear across the house. So it does pick up quite a lot.
It's easy to plug directly to your Mac or PC. It does not require drivers to install, which I know most microphones nowadays do, just so you can have your own in software settings. You love your AT2020? Me too, Baggy. Me too. It's great. So the Snowball is a USB 2.0 device. It is 3.0 compatible as per USB 3.0 backwards compatibility specifications. So $50, you can get it on Amazon, or you can even get it on the website from there and probably have a warranty with it. So it's pretty good. Best Buy, I know, has them, or any of your computer shops. They definitely sell a lot of Blue products.
I think even like Guitar Center, something you might
Guitar
not think
Center
about,
has actually introduced a lot of.
You can get a lot of good
Makes
mics
sense.
from music stores.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Last one, actually, I've seen this microphone. I've used it at TwitchCon. It is the Razer Siren X. There is the Razer Siren, which is a lot more, but this one is $100.
So for the, I guess, fourth week, technically not second week, but second podcast in a row, Rambo has blown my mind where I did not know Razer made
The funny thing
piece
was,
of equipment.
I just Googled it. I Googled it because I was like, Razer makes everything else. I was like, do they make
We
did-
saw this at
I'm gonna ask.
TwitchCon.
Yeah.
We saw this at TwitchCon.
I didn't realize it was Razer.
Yeah, when they were
So
when they
I
were
wasn't the one
crazy to me.
streaming. I was sitting there poking you. So
True.
So crazy. I
True.
cannot believe that now I found out.
when they were promoting
cards
the
and
Razer
mics.
Keo and other such products at TwitchCon. They also were promoting the Razer Siren X. So it's $100 that you can purchase. It is USB. It comes with its own mic prop, so you can put it right in the center, put it anywhere. It is a super cardioid, which is really, really nice. The sound recorded is a tighter angle, so more narrow and more precise. And this reduces unwanted background noise and allows you to deliver your voice loud and clear. It is shock
Oh, that's
resistant
sick.
or shock isolated, which I think mics nowadays, even at a lower price, should have that, because it's really, really important to have shock resistant.
Yes.
Um,
The only thing that Yeti fails in, I feel like.
So when things get excited, you get your first win in Fortnite, and you're like, yes, and you bang the mic. Shock resistant, will not create a thud, will not create a loud noise. You'll hear noise, but it'll be subtle, extremely subtle. And it has the built-in mount, like I said, the prop, and mount. It dampens vibrations to help protect your scene, so you're hitting your desk and everything. It has that dampening, so the vibrations do not go up and pick into the mic. And it's super sleek and compact. It is similar looking to an AT2020 model, except it's vertical and stays vertical the whole way. So it props up like this, and it's pretty good sound. Again, Razer Siren X good products from what I heard. They're Streamlabs certified, so they automatically register. You also can download the software to add certain things, different voices, I believe you can
That's
do.
what I was going to ask about. So Streamlabs certified, does that have bonus things like
I
you just
believe
said?
so. I believe
Voices and crazy
since
stuff?
it is with Razer, you can download the Razer Synapses and
Mhm.
have it register your device, and it probably will have something. I don't know if it has you to do voices, like audio voices, different.
It's got to
things.
have some stuff though.
But
They gotta have
it's
some little
probably
hooky
gonna have
things.
something to allow you to change the threshold, the
I
dBs,
was
and
gonna say,
everything
does
to
it act
clear.
as a mixer? Do you think?
It probably, I would assume that it most likely would use it as a audio mixer and something to allow control. I don't know fully because I don't own a Razer Siren. I tried to do some stuff, but I'm sure you can find on YouTube and everything if you download Synapses. I have the Synapses, but it's only for my my Razer keyboard, so that's about it. So those are the things. There are many more products you can find on Amazon, but those were the ones that most people use for streaming and streaming only. And some of them, like the Razer product and the Audio Technica and the SM7B, are the hottest things everyone's been picking up recently for 2018, 2017, and from now on. So those are reliable. I trust most of them. I know so many people use a lot of these products. Even Rode, I've heard so many musicians and guys use them, and they're like great quality for a company that focuses on audio for DSLR cameras and all the other things. So
so for those that are looking for a mic, the USB ones are basically the easy ones to go to because they're plug and play basically.
Oh yeah.
Something you guys need to remember though, the XLRs require a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you can't just plug it into your PC. You actually need a mixing board for it to work properly.
You need either an audio mixer, a threshold device, something that allows you to connect with the XLR cables and connect to your computer. You can't just get it and assume I could just plug this into my computer. Cables it does not work. That it's a 3-pin going on. It just
So it's just something to keep in mind, because while you're spending that $100 or whatever on your AT2020, you also have to keep in mind that you need an additional piece to help you be able to actually use it.
And I believe
something to keep in mind.
I believe Noodles, if you're listening, I don't know. He has not a full audio mixer, but something that allows him to collect threshold, which would be cheaper than doing something like what I did, which was buy a complete Behringer X1204, which is a complete audio mixer with sound effects and everything. That's $200. So you're thinking $200 on that, and $100 on that. I spent $300 just on my audio equipment alone.
So if you're setting up goals for mics and things like that, it's just something to keep in mind.
If you're starting out and everything, I highly recommend going for the Blue products. They're cheaper, they're better. You could go for the Siren X on Razer, but I highly recommend just start out with something simple, something that just has quality, allows your voice to sound clairvoyant. I do not recommend headphone headsets because they do not guarantee quality, not at all. They do not have a threshold control or dB control within them, so you're going to have a lot of crackling with your mic. You're going to have a lot of that, so that's why I recommend, if you're going to do it, get a pod, get a stand, get a USB. Something simple.
There are some people that do well with a headset mic, but again, you're going to have to keep certain things in mind. If you're a guy with a beard, you're going to have to keep that in mind. If you're moving that mic, you're going to be running into your beard and scraping it. You're going to get a lot of different sounds and stuff with it too.
Going to bump it. It's going to be louder. There's no control with.
So
and
there's
no control.
Just things to keep in mind.
No control in full, relying on a headset. If you have it and it works, that's good. But if you have the few bucks to spare, you can go and look for USB microphones, which are key.
Now, somebody that Rambo's been mentioning a lot is Duke Lyman. He is one of our mods in Twitch Crew. He's also a sound producer, probably getting this title somewhat wrong. Forgive me, Duke. But he works in the music industry basically, so he knows his sound. He knows
he's an audio nerd.
he's an audio engineer.
Nerd.
And so he was awesome here a few months ago, and he did a YouTube video, which I am now linking in chat. And in it, he talks about how to set your levels for streaming. So if that's something that you struggle with, you have a good mic, but you're not quite getting the sound out of it, or you don't know how to get the best sound out of it, Duke provides a great resource in there. The best microphone settings for your stream.
He's definitely.
And in addition, if you ever have any questions, you can always hit him up in the Discord, in the streaming question section, and say, "Hey Duke, I'm having some sound issues. Can you help me out?" So
he's definitely more the man to talk about with audio. I'm a nerd on all that stuff, but that's mainly hardware, not software or anything. That I'm still learning. And then Duke does that. Duke does that all professionally. So he's definitely, guys, if you're having issues with anything, just at him.
Exactly. And just as kind of a thing to let Rambo show off with, if he wants, with his mixer, he was talking about his Behringer and the fact that it has built-in effects. You can, if that's something you're looking into.
I don't know if I can show it on stream. It might.
Well, not necessarily that it itself, but I was talking about like you could actually.
No, I know. I'm just.
Make your weird noises.
I don't know. No. I know what you mean. I was just like as an example. If you guys can see right here, this is the whole thing. I can completely talk like this and everything. It just.
And a touch of a button.
For anybody who may be listening after, he's currently messing around with his mixer.
Yeah,
or was.
Exactly.
Welcome to the stream. How you doing?
There's some awesome ways that you can add on, and we always talk about mixers by themselves, but I know of one streamer in particular who has a pedal attached to his, and he can just quickly switch between sounds. So, the Go XLR.
Oh, I've heard Go XLR.
Tell us about that, because I don't know mics, obviously, because I have a little blue snowball, as Rambo said, that I won in a giveaway.
Oh, you won your snowball?
Wait,
That's
was
awesome.
that with his thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So I don't know anything about them. So I'm all for info.
Go XLR is actually pretty cool. Tim the Tatman uses it. It allows with it's a mixer. Yeah, it's an audio mixer. It's actually a lot better than like a Behringer and whatnot with its audio or sound effects. But I know Tim the Tatman uses it, and it's really sleek. It's really simple, and it's compact, and you can use it and just switch buttons and change it, and it's really cool. They have a lot of good things with it. But yeah.
Tim the Tatman Taylor. That's what I call him.
Timmy.
Tim the Tatman.
Timmy.
So Tim has it. Tylo has it. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. If
very, very cool.
Visually, if you're thinking, think like there's the notches to slide up the audio and everything, but think of that combined with the Stream Deck, because there's buttons and whatnot that you press on it, and then you have the little dials and whatnot. There's 4 dials, but then there's 4 audio sliders for thresholds, but it's completely like just buttons, like simple like looks of a button, like a Stream Deck. That's the best way to compare it.
Awesome sauce.
A bit pricey, yeah. It's $400. It's super pricey.
Jeez.
But if you got the money like Tim the Tatman,
costs so much money.
If you got the money like Tim the Tatman,
yeah, for real.
or even Tyler,
Someone called him
go
the
ahead.
leech. Someone called Tim the Tatman a leech the other day, and I was like, I don't like that because I really like Tim the Tatman, but I also see what they're going for. Like the insult isn't completely unfounded.
You
but
can
I like
say
him
that
a
with
lot,
like
so
all
I
big.
disagree.
You can say that with all big streamers, though.
And yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So it doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh.
Super funny, dude.
Super funny. Do you see how everybody's jumping over to Sea of Thieves now?
Yeah, I'm
Someone
on the
1G
bandwagon.
was Sea of Thieves, and then
Well, Summit
Yeah,
1G's
but
been. No, I wasn't. I played it on release. I played it.
Oh.
I played it 4 months back from now. But I have been watching like Summit, and then I saw Summit's been playing it for like a while, and now Doc played it, and now Tim's playing it and everything, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, I saw Ninja played it yesterday.
Ninja played it with Tim Courage,
right.
Tim Courage, Cypher, PK, all of them played it. So I was like, oof.
My roommate's been watching Summit play it like crazy though, and I come up and catch a little bit of it. He's a pretty funny guy.
Oh,
there she goes.
Lost her for a second. Oh God.
Yeah.
Harry,
She was frozen
enlarged
for
for
a
a
bit.
second.
She said she's coming back for. Oh!
Guys, please bear with me. He's large.
I can't deal with all this pressure. Anyway,
I would change audio, but once Muse comes back, it's gonna talk about it. So let's
yeah.
Everything's
You got
fine.
it,
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, everything's okay.
Well, this happens because I captured it through a display capture. So now that Musie's not here, Harry's enlarged, and so that's why it's all messed up. Because they're individual screen captures put onto it. So I appreciate your guys' time, and I hope
Everything's doing okay. The worst part is we're just about to jump to her subject. We could talk about, since we were talking about Fortnite, the fact that I feel like Fortnite has severely dropped the ball on competitive play.
how so?
I mean,
I haven't
it's
caught
just-
up on Fortnite's thing, so
I haven't as much either, but the game is extremely large, and yet they don't have any real ways to do it, in my opinion. They've been doing these scrims, but then they have like regular people in there along with pros, and that makes it a little bit difficult. Hey, I actually had my eyes covered when she said talk Fortnite. I feel like it should be a lot bigger than it is, and it isn't. I feel like they're not doing it away. They don't have any tournament bracket really. They do those summer scrims that I don't feel, they're cool. They're fun to watch, but it's not impressive to me. They have 100 professional Fortnite players.
there we go.
So they should be able to take 100 people and put them on that map and fight it out, instead of me watching TSM, Myth, and Ninja just blow through regular people.
Yeah.
They're just like just run them over, and it's like, it's weird. I feel like Overwatch has a problem too. Overwatch has the Overwatch League. They really made it a very similar to football or any pro sports thing where there's teams and stuff like that, and yet Overwatch League does not get nearly as much anything. Like, their tournaments don't become number one on the Twitch page, is kind of what I'm saying. Anything else that has a tournament is number one on Twitch homepage every time. Except them.
Even Siege recently has been getting that, and
Yes,
and
they
they've
get a
never
tournament,
they've
boom.
never been that. They've never been that. So the fact that they're actually getting that is really good.
For how big Fortnite is and how many people they have that play it competitively, I cannot believe that they are not just running away with esports.
I think it's because it's really difficult to have, which they're doing a lot of tournaments. Like, if you're actually like, they're doing a lot of tournaments, but it's hard to do ESL type stuff when you have a 100-man battle. The reason why it's so easy to do ESL for like things like Siege, CS:GO, and Overwatch is because it's 5v5. Or 6v6 and Overwatch is way, but that's simple and more organized to stay. You're doing something like Fortnite. You're wanting to get 100 people, 100 players. You're needing to have the funds and the arena to do it.
Ninja did it for that event in Vegas. I mean, they had 100 people, all the computers, all this stuff. They should be able to do that for pros.
They still do that. They still do that every now and then. There's always the Friday events going on and whatnot, and tournaments, and people who do that get to go to the.
But still, those aren't closed servers. I feel like they should have a closed
Harry's
server.
saying is they could do more. Like, there's
They probably.
there's something missing from the scene that they could be doing that it's not fulfilled, in that they should be able to have a closed server that they could bring in the 100 people that are meant to be in that tournament and let them do their thing.
No,
In my
absolutely.
humblest of opinions. I mean, Epic's been doing a wonderful job with upkeep with that game and doing crazy cool stuff, but that's just, I feel like something's missing.
Yeah,
But
Fortnite's
Musie's back.
Fortnite's dying.
I disagree.
You just want everybody wants it to. But
No,
it's
no,
not
legit.
going to.
Have you been looking at it? A lot of people have been dropping out because of frustration. Because an average player is doing better than most pros. Most people have been dropping it. There have been things. TSM Myth has been done with it. He's like, I want a new game. I'm everything. Daquan wants done with it. So many players want done.
I love Daquan so much.
Even Ninja wants done with it, but it's like he knows if he doesn't that he's gonna lose his viewership and profit.
So saying the game is dying and bringing that up as a reason to me doesn't make sense. So just because those people are done with it because they're starting to get wrecked by noobs, to me means the game is growing. That game's getting bigger, people are getting better, casuals are getting better.
The individual player skill is increasing, yes, but you're having these guys who are extremely big streamers who bring in a lot of viewers, who bring in a lot of profit and at least awareness for the company. You lose them, you're losing a lot of your shareholders. You're losing a lot of your audience on it too. And the fact that they're doing it, and CFTs honestly is picking up on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Sea of Thieves is definitely picked up, but
Sea of Thieves definitely picked up.
Fortnite players, you're not seeing Fortnite people in Sea of Thieves though.
They're going over there right now. It just started yesterday where they're starting to jump over there.
Tim the Tatman, Ninja, Courage,
the big
JD.
guys. I'm talking general though.
Yeah. Those people aren't.
But if an audience,
Fortnite players aren't going over to Sea of Thieves.
Sure, but the other majority of it is that the mass viewers that are watching and there to support the streamer and not the game will go and do what the streamer does.
I gotta disagree with that because of the fact that Fortnite is free and for no other reason. I'm not playing Sea of Thieves because I'm not buying Sea of Thieves.
You could also
there are people that might support people and do it, but they might support a streamer and give them $60 in donos over 2 months. But they're not going to buy a $60 game just because that person's playing it. They will continue to play Fortnite because it's free. I have three friends that literally
there's that argument
Fortnite.
There's that argument there. But I know a lot of things where a streamer goes and he's like saying doing a promotion for a game, and he has so many of his viewers coming into that game to just be there.
I don't know. I think it's going to be like League of Legends.
So there's a lot within a community, and within the community that there are a lot of portions where people play the game because their favorite streamer plays it. There's people who play the game because they fully just enjoy the game. There's different groups within the whole spectrum of it.
I think it's just gonna be like League of Legends. It's gonna go boom, 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 boom.
Oh, it's gonna ride. There's gonna be a definite roller coaster effect to it. But the thing is, to say that the game is dying, I think is incorrect. It's dying in the streaming sense, perhaps, but there are enough people that play that are young. It's the viewer base, or the player base, I should say, of Fortnite are a lot of younger kids who may not know what Twitch is. They may not.
Same with Sea of Thieves.
But you don't see Sea of Thieves in Walmart.
Sea of Thieves also is not cross-platform, and it also is not free.
Sea of Thieves is cross-platform.
Kind of.
Not between every platform.
Well, because it's exclusive.
If you have Game Pass.
That's my point, though. That's my point. A
but
big draw for Fortnite is that
Xbox.
I can play with my friend that has PlayStation. That's a big draw of Fortnite.
No, there's a lot of fair points to bring on between both parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's definitely dying in streaming though, because no one wants to keep dying.
Well, the fact that this Sea of Thieves, which has been lackluster on views and everything, is number 2 right now on the roster for Twitch with 112K viewers, compared to Fortnite, which has 192K viewers. Now, if we're being realistic here, that's not a small amount. 92,000 is not a small difference on that.
Mm-hmm.
So
no,
in terms of the viewings, yeah, sure. But the people who don't watch Twitch or do that, yeah, the Fortnite, yes.
And League's only about 5K behind Sea of Thieves, so
League of Legends, that's kind of what I formulate Fortnite off of.
I'm just saying because
Fortnite's not going to die, just like League of Legends hasn't died. League of Legends has had the most toxic community in the entire world for many, many years, known to be that since 2000. It released in 2009. I'd say it got big 2011, so that's like 8 years of it just going up and down, up and down. And people keep playing because it's free. Fortnite, people are going to keep playing because it's free, and you don't even need a PC to play that game. You don't even need a console. You can play that on your phone with people on the console. It's insane. It's not. It might hit a slump. It's not going to die. Streaming, it might die out because I think it's going to become one of those games. Oh, I'll pick up and play with my friend. But I'm not a dedicated Fortnite streamer anymore. I'm not streaming Fortnite every other day.
Yeah. Well,
For sure.
I'd love to continue talking about this, but I think we should move on to our next topic at hand, because I feel like me and Harry and others could be talking about it for hours. We got Musi on.
I wanted to talk today about extensions because I don't think a lot of people know, first of all, that they even exist.
Yeah.
And secondly, what they offer. So there's a lot of different types of extensions, and just to start on a very base level, Twitch offers extensions. And there's all sorts of different kinds. They come in different categories. To find the extensions, all you have to do basically is just go to twitch.tv/your username /dashboard/extensions. It's really easy to get to. And then you can see all the different types. They have streamer tools, there's loyalty and recognition, there's schedule and countdowns, viewer engagement, polling and voting, music, games and extensions for games. 2 different things. It sounds confusing, but I promise. Just gonna kind of go through a few of them, not in super specifics per se, but we'll just go down the list. Start with some streamer tools. There's some awesome extensions that exist within Twitch that you can add, and most of them are either going to be a panel that goes below your stream, or some of them actually have an overlay for your stream. There is an Amazon Blacksmith extension, which is actually kind of cool because you can show your favorite products. So you can show that you love your AT2020, or whatever you're using, you can put in there as your favorite product, and you can actually earn revenue from sales with Amazon Blacksmith.
That's cool. I didn't know about that.
Partners and affiliates both can apply to their program in order to be able to do that. So that's kind of a cool way. You can have your Twitter timeline on there. So if you're tweeting a lot and you want people to see it fully, you can include your Twitter timeline.
Yeah.
That's what I was clicking over all around. Baggy brought up a good point. If you can't figure out extensions, URLs, which I can't for some reason, you can just click your dashboard over in the top right, and it will come up a little drop down. You hit dashboard, and then extensions will be over on the left.
Exactly. Thank you guys. And Becky, if they want to see my tweets, they should follow me. That too. But maybe they don't know you have a Twitter.
They should follow me.
And they might see that you're tweeting some really cool information about stuff, and it'll help them follow you on social media too. So there's a lot of uses for these things. It's not just to share your tweets in another place. It's to show people, hey, I do have this presence on social media. So that's some other stuff. There are things like channel stats that you can put on there. Your Instagram feed can go on there. There's different emote panels that you can put. If you're a speedrunner, you can have a panel for your best runs, for your PBs. So
I wonder if Takade has that.
I'm not sure if he does. I haven't been over there in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen him go live in a while, actually.
But there's all sorts of different things, and as you scroll through them, you can do, you can just hover over them. It pops up either details or install. So you can click on details. It'll bring up another page for that extension, and it'll tell you a little bit more about it. Give you some screenshots of what it looks like. There's the wish list for the Humble Bundle. For
that's Vile's
GOG,
thing.
They have.
Yeah.
You can, if you have any connection with Design by Humans, there's a panel for it, which you can
that's
add.
Interesting. I never knew that.
There's a lot of these things, and these are really simple things that you can add to your stream to help just bump it up just a little bit more. It's important to have stuff for your panels generally, but this is some fun stuff that you can add to help promote yourself. But not only that, Becky says she has sound alerts for spooky games, the only extension. Yeah, there's a lot of different
alert
things.
that I mentioned beforehand that Mars and Jingles use.
There's a lot of them. So I can't go over all of them. I'm just giving you guys an idea to help you go, oh, hey, maybe I should go look at this, because I think you should.
There are a lot of cool things.
There's a lot of cool things. So if we go into the loyalty and recognition category, you can have leaderboards to show people, bits and subs and all of these things. A lot of them are related to Streamlabs, but Wisebot, if anybody out there uses Wisebot, there's a leaderboard panel for it. You can have queues set up. You can have there's for some of the shopping. I know there's people that have Into the AM. There's a panel for them for your apparel if you are affiliated with them. There's a FaZe Clan shopping panel too.
Whoa, I want some FaZe merch, dude.
But there's things out there. Game Changer Charity is a thing there for panels and bits. It's an Amazon Pay extension, in which the bits help go to the Game Changer Charity stuff. So that's something too. Some of these extensions, your viewers can use their bits in, and those bits you do actually, you can, depending on the extension, you can get it back. So for example, there's one I'll talk about later. It's a little game that you can put in your panels, and then you have to pay 25 bits to play the game.
Those are cool.
You get the 25 bits. So it's like an idle game.
Will destroy your viewers' bits because they destroy my bits. I go on people's channel and I'm just like, oh, let me get this high score real quick on this stupid game for no reason. The worst.
I know, it is. But it's fun. It's kind of a fun interactive way for your viewers. The loyalty and recognition is awesome because if you have some great people hanging out, you can have those leaderboards and it will show people who's supporting you, and it's a way to say thank you back because you're recognizing them for having done that.
If I were to pick one that I think everybody should have, it is the leaderboard panel. I think everybody should have that panel activated, just because then it's always there.
I agree. Schedules and countdowns. A lot of us have our regular schedule, which is great if for our viewer base, and I'm saying our as in if I stream all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for those that do, your loyal viewers, they know what your schedule is. They already know. But if you have somebody coming new to your channel, maybe they came from a host, or maybe somebody mentioned you in a tweet and came over to your channel to check you out. They want to know when you're going live next. There's some panels that you can put in that have your schedule, and it will literally say next stream 5 hours 20 minutes from now, and it's in your time zone, so you don't even have to figure out, okay, I'm East Coast, so I'm Eastern time, and
because Brett's about to be late to a stream.
For sure. Where's the stream?
So there's what stream?
Yeah.
Huh?
Just guys, be aware. As long as my crew talk, there's going to be a time where I jump in halfway and sleep through the first half because I think it's at 8 and not at 7. Because these two talk in weird time zone language.
Because I just talk in Eastern, even though I'm Mountain, but because nobody talks Mountain.
Yeah,
but
nobody talks Eastern here.
I don't exist. It's fine.
Most of the people I know all live over there in the West, and
either Pacific Coast or Eastern time. Pacific or Eastern.
It's never Central for me.
Yeah, but so there's tons of different types of schedules that you can do. Event countdowns. If you have some events coming up for your community, you can have a countdown for them to see it, and they know what's coming up. Dorito's gonna just load his up with arcade games so that they can play it and not even know he's streaming.
Dorito is a genius.
That's totally possible. So another category of extensions is viewer engagement. This is stuff, guys, like Giphy. There's a panel for Giphy. Reaction GIFs, which I think Rambo was using for a little bit, right?
It's so buggy.
But you were using.
Yes,
and then you also have another one we're going to talk about. There's a Tiltify one, so for people who are doing a lot of charity stuff, that might be one to look into. There's virtual gifts that your viewers can give you to say thank you. There's stream avatars. There's all sorts of different little things. Emote showcase. Just all sorts of things that can be put on to your channel, on your page. Whether, again, some of them are overlays, some of them are just panels down below. which is really nice. And again, y'all, there's so much. There's so many different things. There are music. Oh wait, I'm jumping ahead. Polling and voting. A lot of us like to use polls, whether it's what game we're gonna play next, or what character, what operator we should play. What are you guys going on?
Just talking trash about different time zones.
But
Polling
there's
is
a lot
awesome
of-
too. I like polling on anything.
It's great. It's a great way to encourage engagement among your viewers. It lets them have a say, but yet you still have control because you get to pick the choices and say, hey, do you, maybe you're playing Siege and you want to let them pick which operator you're going to play for that night for attack or whatever.
So I like polling because if any of you guys have ever been in my channel, I have game ADD more than anything that's ever existed. I never know what I want to play. I never know when I'm going to play it. And I never know what I'm going to do in it. So I love polls on Twitter, on extensions, on Facebook, on anything to just be like, hey, here's 3 games. Pick what I'm playing today. And with the extensions, people can actually be in your stream and picking live. So say I'm going to be playing Kingdom Hearts when it comes out because all I can talk about and it's the best thing ever to exist. I'll be playing that. And if I want, I have 3 other games that are also coming out. And even though I know what I'm playing next, I could potentially put those 3 games on a poll. And then people that come to my channel can vote on that poll for the next month, 2 weeks, whatever.
Yes, exactly. For those who do play Fortnite, there's a poll that you can do for where to drop.
The dying game.
Where we dropping, boys?
Where are we dropping? There's also one called Bit Poll, which is cool. It lets your viewers use bits to create polls. So they can set up stuff and then
monetize.
Fix YouTube. Fix YouTube.
EA. Okay, I'm done.
EA
So
Sports.
it's kind of cool because for not only the games, but people who like to do talk shows and stuff, it would let people, say Becky wanted to create a poll regarding whether or not Fortnite's going to die. She could do that. And then the rest of the community could participate, and as a stream we could see that.
Becky creates a poll. What was that taco we ate in San Jose?
I forgot about the tacos. But you can also, the cool thing is, if anybody's concerned, you can enable moderation with this particular one so that you can make sure that it's appropriate. Yeah, and you can use your own one as well. This particular one, you get 20 and 80. It's a 20-80 split for the bits. The extension developer gets 20. The streamer gets 80% of the bits. So for every $1, every 100 bits, you would get 80.
And then Twitch
bits.
takes 50% of it.
Yeah. So
but you're still 40 bits.
Moral of the story is donate to your streamers, everybody.
But the cool thing is you're 40 bits ahead, and it's a fun way for people to use bits for you.
Yes. Bits are good for interaction.
They are, and there's more and more extensions and things that people are adding to be able to do that. There are music extensions that you can add. Most of those, I believe, are just panels. There's Spotify, Last.fm. You can have, what's playing, what's in the queue. Pretzel Rocks, if anybody is using Pretzel Rocks, which I see they just went to $5 a month subscription for their premium service.
Ew.
Which is the drop. It's actually, for those that use Pretzel, it's not a bad thing because the musicians actually get a bigger chunk of the money. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You can run music requests through your panels if you don't have it in your bot. So there's different extensions there. There are games in extensions as well. This is what I'm talking about. I have it in mine. I know Rambo has it in his. Probably the one that Harry loves to spend his bits on is the BitHead Arcade. There's a couple different games that you can play.
That's my game.
There's like the Flappy Bird one where you have to
That's
dodge.
my game.
There's the platformer version of it too, and it's just like spending bits instead of just throwing bits into the chat. You throw bits into the game, you get to play a little game, then you can have the high score for the week, and your viewers can compete for who has the high score of the week. Um,
me, I have the high score.
Harry always has it.
Yes.
Um,
Even if it doesn't say so.
there's one called Hungry Piggies where you stack little pigs. There's
I have not played Hungry Pickies.
Picky? Hungry Picky?
You know what I meant to say. I don't know how to talk. Stop making fun of me.
Rambo's bullying.
Much love,
Or Harry.
Harry.
Always
There's
about my
one-
banana milk, about my speaking.
I didn't make fun of
Had
you,
enough. Had enough.
There's one called Stream Battlers where you can actually collect and battle your favorite streamers as playing cards.
Oh wait, he's on the left. I'm supposed to turn away this way.
I was like,
No, I was supposed to turn away the other.
No, this is correct now. I'm
so
only
there's a
talking.
lot of different games. There's a memory game. There's a tower match game, and most of them, not all of them. There's quite a few of them that your viewers use bits. So great, fun little ways for again interaction, and you get your revenue as a streamer from the bits. The last little category through Twitch itself is called extensions for games. So these are for people who are hardcore specific gamers. Your Hearthstone players. There's a deck tracker. I had to think for a second. What's the word? A deck tracker for Hearthstone. There's a World of Warcraft armory. There's stuff for League. There's stuff for Destiny. There's stuff for World of Warcraft. The Destiny 2. There's a Destiny 2 armory overlay as well.
Oh, where's Noodles?
There's Fortnite stats. If anybody's ever played Darwin Project, this is an extension.
That's a good game. It sadly died though.
There's still a few people to play. It's
Its numbers are so dwindled.
it's a small viewer base, but
I
there's still a few
like
to play.
that game. That game's cool.
But this is the extension that is used for that game. And if you don't know what Darwin Project is, basically it's a battle royale of sorts. You're thrown into an area with
An area with 10 people, you have a director. The director can speak to the players.
show director. That's what I was thinking of. Show director.
And
I
they
couldn't
can
think of the word.
manipulate the game by either helping you or hurting you with the abilities that they have.
Exactly. And your
10
viewers get to vote on which area gets closed next.
If the show director, if you're a show director and whatnot on the stream, you can throw it to the chat and chat can vote. Oh, screw this sector, give this to this person.
Exactly. Yep. There's ways to vote, so it's kind of a fun way. For people playing PUBG, there's a tracker. Overwatch, pretty much any of the big games that you can think of, there's probably something there. Dota has stuff. BDO, Black Desert Online has one. Marbles on stream, for those who've played that, this is where this comes from. This is where this game comes from. It's an extension as well. And you can actually use bits. I don't think a lot of people realize that. You can run the game just completely free, no bits needed, but you can actually, if you want to like upgrade your ball, I think it is, you can do bits to get a different color ball or whatever.
The more bits, the better the balls.
Woohoo! Everybody gets better balls for good amount of bits.
Destiny 2, CSGO, there's all sorts of different analytics, like things that for different games. Fortnite, there's a lot of Fortnite stuff. Dota 2, there's a profile overlay. So for anybody, there's StarCraft, Paladins.
Paladin.
But there's also stuff in there like there's a vote chess by chess.com. There's a lot of different things. Streampucks is a really cool one. Streampucks, we actually saw this at TwitchCon. Basically, your viewers can pay bits to have a chance to play a game in which the like you have a little hockey puck that bounces around and you get points, and then it's really cool. In addition to those on Twitch itself, there is a store within Slobs, and in that store, sorry guys, stuff behind the scenes. People are being sassy. I'm being sassy back. There's an app store in Slop. So for those that don't know, they added it, I believe, in November, I think is when it opened officially. And there are a few of those in there that you can add to your stream. Things like social to stream, in which people can upload GIFs, any type of media that you can then approve and show on your stream. Rambo has that one installed or did. Social to stream.
I still have it. I still have it. No one uses it on my stream, and I pay money for that.
Yeah, because it's not BitHead Arcade. You
I
bum.
could never get it to work. He has BitHead Arcade as well.
True.
Monster Cat, for those that like to use Monster Cat for copyright-free music, they have an extension within the Slob store. There are others. I had a small list. They don't have a ton yet because it is still new. And basically, with all of these, you are paying a monthly subscription basically for the service. So the social to stream one is $2.99 a month.
$2.99, and then I also pay another one for $5 a month.
Monster Cat is $5 a month. There's one called Element Mover Positions. Element Mover, and it positions and sizes different stream elements for you so that you can adjust stuff on your stream kind of on the fly. And that one's $1.99 a month.
I use the visual one, the Visuals Impulse or something.
There's a Stream Design Factory that has overlays in it, graphics, animations that you can use. It's $4.99 a month. So you can keep that in mind for what's going on within your stream, things you can add to help better your stream, but you are going to have to pay for it. So if you're unfamiliar and you use Slobs, open up the App Store, flip through, you can see screenshots, different things that are going to work. The last thing I wanted to talk about, be on the lookout. There are different things you can add to your stream that may not be part of Twitch directly, or the Slob Store itself. There is a website that I have seen some streamers using lately that's for polls, and the polls are embedded directly into your stream overlay through OBS. I'm not sure if Slobs works 100% or not, but I know through OBS it does, and you can create polls on the fly, and it's embedded directly into your stream, and it's super simple. You know, say, what game should we play next? And you list them out, and they don't have to do a command or anything, just put in the number of that game, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it shows you directly right there in live time what the people are voting on, which is kind of cool. So there's other things out there as well. So those are just some examples of ways that you can add extensions to your page and your stream to provide more content for your viewers, whether it's informational content or kind of fun idle games, whatever that you want to add. Real quick as we end here, guys, I want to do some quick announcements.
But I never want to leave.
The Smash tournament is coming up. It is Saturday. So be on the lookout for that. Mars has posted, if you are participating and you haven't looked, Mars has posted who's playing who and all that good stuff. So get a look out to see who you're up against first.
Be happy that I'm not available.
Harry, I'm facing that guy we faced when you and me did our 1v1s.
Oh.
The copacetic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going against first.
We also have so that's this weekend. Next weekend, Saturday the 2nd. Saturday, February 2nd at 2. So 2 at 2 is going to be our next charity event. We're doing some for mental health awareness. There will be some cool incentives going on for that particular stream. If anybody, we also want to encourage people, if they have stories that they want to share regarding mental health, whether they want to do it live or have the caster share the story, we are looking at doing that. Because mental health is something that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, and we want to encourage people to talk about it.
Something I struggle with every day.
Because people...
Samesies.
It's, you're never alone. So if you have a story you want to share, we'll be on the lookout for how to share your stories during that stream.
There's tons of people to reach out to within Twitch Crew as well. If you don't want to put in a gen chat, that is very understandable. However, if you really get a light one with anybody, feel free to DM them. Pretty sure all of us here are pretty cool. Rambo is kind of a jerk, but he won't be a jerk for that. So I'm just kidding, Rambo. Don't make that face. I love you. I had to pick on somebody, all right? And yeah, it's definitely a very important topic. Make sure you're reaching out to somebody because it helps even just to chat.
Exactly.
Another important announcement for February the 9th is my birthday. Just making sure everybody knows. Moving along.
Nice. So that's the next Saturday after that.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Oh, it's a
Thursday.
Saturday? Oh, I work.
You have to work.
Yep.
All right.
You
the
got-
last announcement I have is tied, and this is talking about just a reminder to everybody: we do have merch, y'all.
Hell yeah.
I'm wearing the hat last time Harry was wearing an example of the shirt. We are looking at
a new shirt.
adding new merch, and in addition to that, we are throwing out there starting tomorrow a contest for a new logo for the Twitch crew. So anybody, it's open to everyone. You don't have to be an artist per se to have. Somebody's gonna be fired. You won't see him on the next show.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I
Anyway, it
just will
starts
stream
tomorrow.
Wednesday.
It goes through February 14th, and the winner will get a free shirt with the logo on it, and that shirt will be sold in the merch store itself. So.
They already made that logo, so they have the. I'm just kidding.
I thought we
That's-
did one, and it.
No, we haven't. So I will do an official announcement for that tomorrow. And as also
Mine's
tomorrow,
gonna be a
don't
stick
forget,
figure.
is
I don't know
yoga
why
with
this is
Rock
a simple
tomorrow
stick figure.
at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. That is 8:30 Harry's time, 7:30 my time, 6:30 for those on the East Coast.
Dang, she's on top of it.
All right.
No, I can't get lost.
Wait,
and who
what?
knows what Arizona's doing? Because
Wait,
Arizona.
what's 6:30
big time.
East Coast?
Yeah,
For what?
9:30. No, 9:30 East, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain,
other one.
6:30 Pacific.
Oh, I thought I heard you said 6:30 Eastern. I was like, what?
And then no one knows what Arizona's ever doing ever because they just have their own time zone for some reason.
See, you did say 6:30. Back, you heard it.
I give up. We have our 2 featured member videos we'd like to show. Our previous featured member was Phoenix. Our current one is AJ Moore. And
We're
so
going to
I'll
play
have-
Phoenix first.
Sweet. Oh, I gotta remember they can hear me. Muted.
On top of a gin right in front of a door. He's bringing that ass back because he wants some more. On Cheeseball, I've been a little focused on the... Where'd that damn Zap Zap Madoodle go? There we go, Zap Zap Madoodle, because I heard it. Oh, now we're playing like, we're supposed to, That's cool. I mean, let's not talk about that. Okay? You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. That's what it's all about. Oh my god, I'm dying. You can keep your ass away from me. No, I don't want your Girl Scout cookies.
All right, next up we have AJ, who is our current one. So we're doing that.
Is that cringy enough for you? Yes! Let's go! Yes! Yes! That's the skin I wanted! Shit, that's what my teammates know! Ah! This scared me! Who did that? Are you serious? No way! Oh my goodness! Oh my lord!
And that was AJ. Hello?
Both awesome people. Sorry, I was thinking. I can't think and talk at the same time.
That's a problem for podcasts.
It is. No, what I was trying to do is get us ready for our raid, and my Twitch is being a spastic little butt munch. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Next week is Eddie Nines. He's got a good guest lined up for next week, so be sure to tune in at 8:39 for On the Nines. He's got a thing with nines.
A lot of nines there.
We are going to head over, get your raid calls ready. We're gonna go show some love. It's actually somebody in the community. It's actually a team playing together.
Team Dream.
They have Twitch crew in there. They're awesome. They have them in us in their title, I noticed. So they rock.
Oh,
Let's
I
go
didn't
show
even
them
see
some
that.
love. And
They are the bomb.
we're gonna go say hi. So we'll see you all in the Discord and here in 2 weeks.
Ooh,
I'm Rambo. That's music.
I'm Rambo. I am Rambo.
And that's
Rambo.
melon milk. over
See, he's
there.
confused because I'm so,
Just kidding.
so. It's banana milk. How dare you disrespect
We'll
it?
see you guys on the next stream.
Bye.